Okay, I guess we are live, right? Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk English. Today is the 25th of January 2026, and it is around 9:15 in the evening. Okay, so today's video is not going to be very long, and it is targeted to specially one kind of test takers. If you are an IELTS academic or general candidate, and what's happening with you is that you're stuck at a specific score. It's just bottlenecked, right? Someone might be stuck at a 18 out of 40. Someone might just be stuck at 25, 30, and the score is not increasing. This video is going to save your life. So just be with me and let's start the session. We're going to focus on tips and tricks and strategies that work for almost every kind of IELTS candidates who are stuck at a particular score. So let's start. Okay, so if you can see on my screen, I currently have a Cambridge book opened, right? And let me first go through the structure of the IELTS reading test. Just allow me 1 second. We're looking at book 19, test 1, right? And we're also looking at, yes. So if you see here, there are 40 questions in IELTS reading test that you have to cover in 40 minutes, right? There are 3 sections. Each section has its own reading. I'm sorry. I thought I had put the mic, but I didn't know that. Okay. All right, let me clip it here. If it's right or not, I don't know. But yeah, just give me a minute. I hope this should work properly. I hope you're getting the audio. If you're not getting the audio, just let me know. I'll do something. Okay. All right. So what I was saying was every IELTS question paper has 40 questions and you have to figure out all the answers in 60 minutes. In this entire question paper, which is of 40 questions, you have it divided in 3 sections. Section 1 has 13 questions, section 2 13, and section 3 has 14 questions. If you're an academic candidate, you will find that all of your reading passages are academic in nature, whereas general candidates enjoy much interesting general context reading passages. So if you can see here, reading passage 1 has 2 question types. First, question number 1 to 7, true, false, not given, and then you have notes completion question. Reading passage 2, the title of which is Pirates of Ancient Mediterranean, has again 2 or 3 question types, if I'm not wrong. Question number 14 to 19 are locating information. Question number 20, 21, 22, 23 are MCQ multiple options. And question number 24 to 26 are summary completion. So in total, 3 question types, together responsible for 13 questions. And then the last section, or reading passage 3, has the passage titled The Persistence and Peril of Misinformation. Question number 27 to 30, MCQ single answer, then 31 to 36, summary completion with options, and 37 to 40 is yes to not given. Once you have analyzed the structure, tip number 1 or strategy number 1 for you is you need to understand how to approach the reading test. What I'm trying to say here is you should not act like a war soldier. Rather, take this 1 or 2 minutes and identify what is the topic of all 3 different passages, what interests you, right? Which is more interesting, which is more boring for you? Is there a passage that is pretty technical for you, right? And in addition to that, what question types do you have? So whichever section has a more interesting topic and question types that are easier for me, I will attempt that first. Let's suppose I chose that I'm going to go forward with section 1, right? Section 1 is titled How Tennis Rackets Have Changed, and the 2 question types are true, false, not given, and note completion. I will do note completion first, then I will go to true, false, not given, because in essence, what this is going to do, this will make me familiar with the passage. And then when I come to do true false not given after doing note completion, I already am familiar with the reading passage, so it will be easier for me. Same for reading passage 2, I would prefer doing summary completion first because it's the easiest question type. Then I'll pick locating information, and then I'll pick MCQ multiple answers because, to be honest, I don't like MCQs multiple answers, but yes, I'll do that in the end, and I'll do locating information first because that is relatively easier. And lastly, in reading passage 3, I'll be heading towards, first is MCQ single option. Then you have, oh, I'll do summary completion with options first because that's the easiest. Then I'll do yes or not given. And then lastly, I will be doing MCQ single answer. So in a nutshell, tip number 1 or strategy number 1 is please take 1 or 2 minutes to decide which question type you're going to do first. And it should always be the easiest question. Nowhere someone should advise you or it is written that you need to do all question types in a serial order, just like listening. No, reading doesn't work like that. The next thing is there is no need for you to read the full passage. Now, if you see here, I am at, let me pick up reading passage 1. Yes, so when you talk about reading passage 1, you don't have to read this gigantic, non-interesting 2 pages of reading passage. Rather, what you should be doing is you should be skimming and scanning, and you should only focus on which lines are important for you, which sentences are important for you. There is no need for you to read the full passages. Of course, there are question types which are sequential. Most of the questions are sequential. But even if some question type is not sequential, just like the matching ones, you can just choose to do the selected sentences. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. If you see question number 1, it says from true false not given, people had expected Andy Murray to become the world's top tennis player for at least 5 years before 2016. Now, I will just go ahead and try to find out where 2016 is, and based on that, I will only select, okay, we have 2016 in the starting and we have Andy Murray, right? So I don't need to read the full passage. I can just find out where most of my keywords are, and then I'll just read it from here. I don't need to read the full passage in order to find the answer. Third, when you are skimming and scanning, you should look for primary keywords. Okay. This basically comes from the fact that our brains and eyes, when they coordinate nicely, what happens is it is much easier for them to basically filter out words, basically spot the words that are either proper nouns or numbers and dates. But if you look at a regular word such as world's top tennis player, that's extremely bad. So even in the first true false not given question type, you have primary keywords such as Andy Murray and 2016, and you should find that first. It will be easier and it will save a lot of time for you. Tip number 4. Okay, do not rely on a single keyword. What this technically means is if I have 2016 and I'm only relying on that or Andy Murray, I will be deceived. Your goal is to filter out or to select, mark the most important keywords according to you, and then only find the answer in the sentence which has the majority of those keywords. If you rely on one keyword, you will be lost and deceived. So even if you see here, question number 2 also has Andy Murray as a keyword. Now, if I only rely on this, I may start finding it here, but that's not the right thing because I suppose question number 2 will be found here, right? Andy Murray made to his rackets attracted a lot of attention. So transformation is definitely your change, right? Andy Murray, is he here? Murray, that consisted of 2 types of strings, crosses, racket, attracted, crosses. Hmm. Visibly and widely publicized. So question number 2 is present in the left side reading passage, subparagraph number 2, where you actually figured this out based on majority of keywords, not just a single keyword, Andy Murray, because if you would have just followed that, you would be puzzled and you would find the answer in the very first paragraph, or you would try to find, because the answer is ultimately going to be wrong. Okay. Next thing is order of attempting question types. I think we've discussed it, right? And what I want to say here is always make sure that you are doing the easiest question types first and then the lesser, easier question types after that. Because after this, after doing one question type that is simpler, you will be much more familiar with the passage. So that is it. Tip number 6, sorry. True false not given and yes no not given clarity. Okay, this is like the most interesting part. Majority of the candidates have always complained that they have a confusion in figuring out the correct answer between false and not given. I'll tell you the reason. You are trying to find out true, false, not given all together. No. What you would do is you would go ahead and you would first understand whether the information is completely given or not. If it is not given, okay, bye bye, happy birthday, very nicely done. You mark it not given and go ahead. But if it is given, that is, the information must be there in its entirety, not partially. Only then you will be able to decide between true, false, or yes, no in other cases. If it is saying the same thing, it's true. If it is saying the opposite thing, it is false. Of course, for yes, no, not given also, the same logic applies, but the only difference is that here you are focusing more on writer's opinion in yes, no, not given. So make sure that you do it very, very carefully, because you are very likely to get around two true false not given or one true false not given, one yes no not given questions. It's been a very prominent trend in the first half of 2026, the month that we are in, January. So be careful about this. Tip number 7, during practice, please focus on efficiency, not on time. And I'll give you another tip number 8 with this. So see, I'll combine both of them, right? Usually, from the very first mock test that I see, what candidates would do is they would panic about doing all 40 questions, right? Understand, almost half of the question types are word based, which is note completion, sentence completion, table completion, and they are pretty easy in comparison to matching and true false not given. Now, what happens is when you have this panic mode on, you're not even able to do those easier question types comfortably, effortlessly. So, in a nutshell, what happens is you end up destroying everything, for the lack of better words. My argument here is imagine a situation when you've completed all 40 questions, but only 18 are right. On the other hand, imagine a situation you just need a band 6. Band 6, I guess, would mean somewhere around 24 answers. You did 28 questions only in 60 minutes, but you have a higher efficiency rate. Let's say 25 answers are right. You would get a higher band score in that scenario. Moral of the story is time management should be the last of the things on your mind. If you just keep practicing lot of questions, focusing on where you lack, what's your problem area, you would eventually increase your speed and just keep doing the right things. My whole argument here is do not focus on time management first. You will be much better if you do 30 questions with 90% accuracy than 40 questions with 50% accuracy. So that was tip number 7 and 8. Never ever run after time management. Now, the last thing, not the last thing, tip number 9. And this is more of a ground check. So, if I sound like a 70-year-old guy to you, Dadu, Nanu, whatever, I am sorry for that, but I have no other way to explain. Please understand, if you are a bachelor's candidate who's wanting to go to Australia, you just need a 5.5 or 6. Why then are you worrying about getting all answers right? What I mean to say here is, if you are such candidate who needs a band 4, a band 5, band 6, band 6.5, talk to your trainer, your counselor, understand how many questions you need to get right. And if you are constantly getting that right in a series of 3 or 4 mock tests, you are pretty much ready to give the test. Don't be obsessed about getting all answers right, because while you're filing visa, if your eligibility requirement is a band 5.5, then to be honest, 6.5 and 7.5 have the same value, right? Tip number 10, that's very important. I have seen many candidates pulling their hair out of their skull because they feel that they should do all sections in 20 minutes each. And as a matter of fact, when I when I sat for my IELTS test and I got a band 9 in the only attempt of IELTS that I've given almost 6 years ago, even I had this maniac kind of feeling that I should be able to do it 20 minutes. No, your section 1 is the easiest. You should have 15 minutes allotted for it. Your section 2 is a little challenging, so it should be given 20 minutes. And section 3 is the hardest one, so it should get 25 minutes for you to complete it, and you should distribute the time in that proportion, right? This way you'll remain sane and the whole process will be much more faster. Test experience will be better. Tip number 11, checking answers before submission. Yeah, that's a very important thing. See, almost half of the question types are going to be word based and half of them are going to be option based: true, false, not given, matching, multiple choice questions. When I see candidates doing word based questions and in a hurry, what they would do is they would simply make spelling mistakes, which, by the way, should not exist because you are essentially copy pasting spellings. That being said, if you practice enough, right, you would end up finishing your reading test in around 55 minutes. What do you do of the last 5 minutes? You check your answers. What should you check? If it is word based answers, check the spellings, right? And for that, you should also have done one thing. While you are doing your test, right, you should always annotate where you found question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. That way, in that 5 minutes remaining of that, you should be able to check even twice. For word-based answers, option-based answers, what you should rather be doing is checking the sequence, because many times in a hurry, you may enter 17th question into the blank of 18th question. Okay, another related tip, it's not a new thing, and it's for paper-based candidates. See, we all know that you only have 60 minutes. What I have seen, and it has happened in my own home as well with my sister-in-law, she never used to transfer answers with the sections. So in her final IELTS test, which she could not clear in the first attempt, she was almost about to finish her test in 56-57 minutes, and then she realized she had not transferred the answers. Ultimately, what happens, she transfers all of them, and when she goes to the 40th question, she doesn't have an answer. Where did she mess up? What she did accidentally was, towards 18th or 19th question, she did a sequence transfer mistake, and that happened like a domino effect. So she got a band 5 or 4.5, which was not enough for Canada PR, so she had to sit for the IELTS test once again. What you can learn from this is, the moment you complete section 1, transfer all 13 answers immediately. Don't wait for the last 5 minutes. It's not literally possible to transfer all of your answers at that time. You will 100% make a mistake. Okay, materials to follow. This is something that is very close to my heart, and if I did not know this, I would have not been sitting here in front of you. You should only follow Cambridge materials. There are many publications. I don't want to take names. I can tell you that a lot of them that I've had bad experience with are from Punjab, right? That is from where I belong. Those third party preparation materials do not meet the Cambridge test design philosophy, right? In fact, I've seen a publication being published from, I think, a Bohar, if I'm not wrong, right? And their true false not given are not sequential. My God, can you imagine? Sentence completion questions are not sequential. Now, people who want to argue can argue, but my simple point here is that you should be only and only following the official Cambridge materials, because this is what you're going to get in the final test. Another thing, if you're an academic candidate and if you find the materials very hard, there are a lot of candidates. What you can do is you can practice general training reading. That also will help. Do I have any other thing to share with you? I don't think I have any other thing. So let's call it off a day. This was today's life. I've completed my hat trick. There are many few things in life that I've completed in a series. I'm honestly very happy about this. Much more cooler, much more calmer. All right. So I hope you liked this session. I have been, let me talk about myself a little bit. I have been an IELTS and PT trainer for almost 6 years now. I cleared my IELTS test with a band 8.5, which is native level proficiency, 9 in listening and reading, and 7.5 in speaking and writing in the only attempt at IELTS I've given so far. I've taught online, offline, more than 1,000 happy faces so far. And I do happen to have a TEFL level 5 certification also. So that is my short introduction. I would love if you have anything, you can shower your blessings in the comments. Tomorrow also I'll be coming and doing the live. If you have anything that you want me to cover from PT or IELTS, I'm more than happy to do that. Just drop it in the comments or if in the live chat. Uh, Additionally, what did I write? Yeah, if you liked it, do like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll make sure I plug the link to this whole strategy sheet, cheat sheet, whatever you want to say, in the description. Sorry, in the description. So just make sure you can download it from there. If any questions, feel free to contact me on Instagram. The handle will be down there in the description. Till then, bye bye.